Welcome back to Block TV. We're at the Blockchain for Global Impact Conference right here at the center of Tel Aviv, and I'm very lucky to stand with Weifeng Hu, who I did not just manage to pronounce his name, but he's with Huawei, which again, I managed to pronounce the name. First of all, thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome.
Let me know, what is Huawei doing here in this conference?
So that's the first question. I thought it would be the last. Okay, so as we know, blockchain business is not a business developed by one single company. It's about collaboration, and you need an ecosystem, and you need a lot of partners to run the business. And usually, if you want to get a lot of partners, you have to do a lot of work. And it's not easy for a single company to do that. And I think the first reason here is that we want to leverage the power of social organizations which I mean seed that help us to build relationships with our potential partners and to see what's in common for us to develop our businesses. And second, I think we're doing business, we're developing blockchain solutions, not by ourselves in the house, but we want to learn more from the outside world to know what should we do, what people are interested, and what we do is good for the society and would bring a good impact to the world.
2020 is about to launch a new decade. People argue that blockchain will be a defining technological tool for the next 10 years. Do you agree, and where do you see it applied?
Okay, so I don't think blockchain technology is something new, a single technology. I think it's a combination of different, a lot of existing technologies. And now we are finding new ways to combine them and leveraging these technologies to provide a solution called the blockchain. And actually, I tend to agree it's a disrupting technology for the next decade. And usually when I talk about the importance of the technology, I would list the problems we have.
Such as?
Okay, so a report that has showed that trust in almost all the countries has been decreasing in the past decades. And let me see whether blockchain can help to improve this situation. I think the answer is yes. And it is known to provide trust, or at least bring trust from authorities and to the whole society. And second, I think we are living in a collaborative world. And like making an airplane, I don't think its job can be done by just one single company. We have like millions of spare parts from like thousands of suppliers, and which makes our business procedures or business logics very complex. And the nature of blockchain, distributed, collaborative, it provides a new solution, at least a new chance for build a new solution to solve these problems. And we also want to talk about privacy. Privacy is
Yes, please.
yes,
I mean, privacy is, I think, something that many in the world have already given up on.
yes, and not just the European Commission, but I think it's all around the world. People are think highly about privacy, and we identified a lot of problems to protecting our privacy. At the same time, allow us to leverage the data to protect our security. This is yes. And I think blockchain also provide a chance for us to build a solution that covers the both sides. Yeah. Yes.
Now, let me ask you this. China seems to be on the forefront of adopting blockchain as a way of life almost. In October, Xi Jinping, the president, came out and really decreed it. What do you think China understands that the rest of the world doesn't?
Um, I don't think there is something that only us can understand.
But you seem to be moving faster.
Yeah. And I think if you look into the blockchain-related startup companies, you will find out that there are more startups companies in Asia than the other places. Yes, and that could be one of the motivations that helps the people around to realize the importance of this technology. But I don't think this, if we can play a leading role to bring this technology to the society, that would be great. But it's not the goal. Being the leading role is not the goal of. So the goal is to leverage this technology to bring better life to people, to not just for our country, but for all around the world. And if we are acting quickly, just as as we talked in the morning, other countries will also follow. It's not just one action taken by a single country, but all around the world.
We see a lot of places around the world trying to legislate and block initiatives that deal with blockchain because they're synonymous with other things. Do you think that, I mean, how can we incorporate internationally blockchain as something that is legislated? That's what I'm wondering.
That's a quite hard question. Actually, our company has go international for quite a long time, and that's also the problem we are facing to develop our business globally. And you have to comply with local regulations. Yes, and I think first, if we look within Europe, and European Union has already provided a good mechanism to define not globally but across the EU. Yes, and actually I think if we can copy this kind of approach to the world, and I think the UN can play a better role here, not as a legislator, but as a coordinator to its member states. Yes, and we need a place to have the states around the world to sit together and to discuss about it. And besides, I think there are a lot of global initiatives focused on blockchain technology, like INATBA in Europe, and also in China we have Trusted Blockchain Alliance, and all these non-profit organizations can help to bring the public sectors and the private sectors together. And we're not making laws, regulations from nothing. We need to identify the requirements and the risks. And it's not doing by the public sector alone. And we need participants from private sectors. And these organizations can play a very important role to help us to make the regulations. Yeah.
And you're right, Europe seems to be moving slightly faster with an understanding of, how that technology can progress things. Finally, when you're here, are you looking in specific partnerships? What has interested you in this conference? And what is the future of the company that you represent?
You mean the importance of the? I think we at the very beginning I have already talked about the importance of the conference, And so if I talk
Seen,
about
though, any partnerships that come to mind? What interests you in evolving new initiatives in blockchain? If you can, if you've seen anything in the last, I'd say, several months.
uh, you mean in the past several months, and
What's the most exciting thing in blockchain? That's what I'm asking in the last several months.
as people working on blockchain, the most exciting thing is that our president has announced his endorsement to the technology. You know, blockchain is a technology. It depends how you are using that. Sometimes people would use that for bad things. Sometimes you will use for good things. But it will bring bad influence to the people who knows about blockchain, because people are doing money laundering. They are using Bitcoin in black markets.
But they're doing it. Bad people will do it also with regular money.
Yeah. But Bitcoin is too famous in blockchain world, and a lot of people consider Bitcoin. They just think the two words are equivalent, and so when I am trying to use this technology to do something good, I was always worried about, don't mistake me from the the bad guys, and it has been troubling me for a long time. And our president has expressed his endorsement. I think that's the best news for me. I don't need to worry about that.
I can't agree with you more. It's mainstreaming and letting people move ahead and work.
Yeah, I think for the for the rest of the world, we also need this kind of strong support.
I don't see Donald Trump doing that anytime soon, but still, yes, to actually, as you said, normalize, legislate, put that into equation. Mr. Weifeng Hu, I cannot thank you enough for being with us today on Block TV, and you speak very important words, and this was very enlightening for all of us. We were Block TV right here at the Blockchain for Global Impact, and we'll be right back.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter.